Hey everyone, so today we're doing something a little different. We're not just reviewing a book, we're kind of writing a love letter to a story that is so profoundly moving, so important, and just beautifully told. We're talking about Helen Hoang's The Bride Test.
Oof. This is the line that changes absolutely everything. It's a ghost, you know? It's been haunting our hero, Kai Deep, since his best friend died 10 years ago. It's this one single belief that has completely shaped his adult life. This deep-seated conviction that he just can't feel things, that his heart is basically broken. And that right there, that belief, sets the stage for one of the most powerful emotional journeys I've ever read in modern romance.
So, the book we're diving into is The Bride Test by the absolutely brilliant Helen Hoang. It came out in 2019, and it's a contemporary romance that honestly just blows the ceiling off what the genre can be. It explores love, identity, and neurodiversity with so much sensitivity and warmth. It's incredible. Okay, so here's the setup, and it's simple, but wow, is it powerful. Kai's mother is just tired of seeing her son all alone. So she takes matters into her own hands, flies to Vietnam, and decides she's going to find him a bride. The woman she picks, Esme Tran, sees this as a once-in-a-lifetime shot, not just for herself, but to find the American father she never met and build a better future for her daughter. And at the center of all this, you've got two people who could not be more different. On one side, we have Esme Tran. She's a janitor from a small village, a mom, and a total fighter who is just filled with so much hope. And then you've got Kai Deep. He's a successful accountant who lives his life by this really strict set of rules, completely convinced that emotions like love just aren't in his programming. First, let's just talk about Esme. I mean, seriously, her journey is the true heart of this story. She is an absolute force of nature. Can you imagine just leaving everything you know behind? One minute, Esme is working as a janitor, scrubbing toilets in a hotel, and the next, this unbelievable, totally terrifying opportunity just falls into her lap. She agrees to fly to America for a summer to try and win Kai's heart. It's a huge leap of faith, and it's all driven by this fierce love for her family and a desperate hope for something better. And this quote, this gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It reveals what Esme is really after. It'd be easy to think she's just looking for money, but that is so far from the truth. What Esme really craves is belonging. She wants a partner, a family, and to know her little girl, Jade, is going to be safe. She's searching for a home, not a fortune. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about our hero, Kai. He's a man who has built this massive fortress around a heart he doesn't even think works properly. This line is just so powerful. Kai sees the world through logic and reason. After the trauma of losing his best friend, he decided that because he didn't grieve in a normal way, he must be broken. So he just avoids relationships completely. He thinks he can't give anyone what they need and will only end up hurting them. He thinks he's protecting people, but really, he's just shutting himself away. And this part just brilliantly shows how he tries to handle this whole situation with Esme. He makes a literal list of rules for how to interact with her. They're all very logical, and sometimes they are unintentionally hilarious. Like, he makes an exception for checking her out if she's grievously wounded. It just goes to show how much he relies on structure to make sense of a world that feels so chaotic to him. And this right here, this brings us to the real core of the story, where all that logic starts to meet emotion and everything begins to shift. It's not just about Esme learning English, it's about Kai learning the language of his own heart. For his entire life, Kai's been operating under this one solid assumption. Love is an emotion he's locked out of. He can see it in other people, sure, but he believes he can never, ever experience it himself. But Esme, with her patience and her warmth, starts to chip away at that foundation. And here it is, the breakthrough. This is the moment Kai realizes he does feel. He feels things so, so deeply. His emotions just don't show up in the same way as everyone else's. He shows love through acts of service, through loyalty, through this fierce, quiet need to protect. His heart isn't broken. It just speaks a different language. And honestly, it is so beautiful. But hold on, because this isn't just Kai's story. While he's having this huge realization about his heart, Esme is on her own incredible journey of transformation. She comes to America feeling like she has to prove she's worthy of being there. But what she discovers is that her value isn't tied to a man or a green card. It comes from her own resilience, her own fire, her own strength. She's a warrior. So, what's the final word on this incredible story? What really, truly makes the Bride Test so special? Look, it's a story that champions the idea that everyone deserves love and that love can look and feel different for everybody. It's about accepting ourselves exactly as we are and finding the people who get our unique language. It is, without a doubt, one of the most heartfelt and important romance stories you will ever read. So the final lesson here is really threefold. Number one, like Esme, discover your own worth, your own inner strength. It doesn't depend on anyone else. Number two, like Kai, you gotta understand that love has many, many languages, and your way of feeling is totally valid. And number three, when you find someone you care about, you fight for them. For its stunning emotional depth, its characters you'll never forget, and its powerful message of acceptance, The Bride Test earns a massive 9.5 out of 10. It is just about as close to a perfect story as you can get. And hey, if you loved this story as much as I did, you absolutely have to read Helen Hoang's other masterpiece, The Kiss Quotient. And for another story that's charming, hilarious, and just super heartwarming about a neurodivergent protagonist looking for love, you have to check out The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. And that's our love letter to The Bride Test. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for more explainers on the stories and ideas that shape our world.